Alright, so this is part 4 to what if Deku and Bakugo were twin brothers. So, last time I left off where All Might ran in the room and said, All Might is here! And Deku and Bakugo were like, he always has to come in with his appearances, huh? So, All Might, everybody in the class starts screaming, Oh my gosh, All Might is actually in this class? He's gonna be teaching us? So then Deku and Bakugo really are unbothered. And Todoroki takes notice to this. He's like, they are blonde. They could be his unknown kids. But no, that didn't make any sense. The quirks have no. But what if they got their mother's quirk? And then Todoroki's thoughts begin to drift. Like, what if those are his kids? Because they do have blonde hair, except for their crimson red eyes. But that could be a trait of the mother as well. He's like, and they didn't get excited at all. So they're my opponents. So Deku and Bakugo are like, oh my gosh, why does this dude always have to do this? So then All Might explains they're gonna be doing battles to get more experience, and everybody starts complaining. Then we just come to the school. Then don't we need experience battling? And All Might's like, this will be your experience. So Deku and Bakugo, they're on the same, like they draw lots and stuff. All Might explains to them. So this time, Deku, oh yeah, this is Deku's hero costume. So it's Bakugo's costume with the X and stuff and the pants and the gauntlets, except for he has long sleeve, like the long sleeve one, so they can like tell each other apart. And Deku, he has like what do I want to say? Yeah, he has the long sleeve one, and it's kind of covering his mouth. Yeah, that's what it is. So Uraka thinks Deku's outfit's kind of nice. She's like, "Whoa, your outfit is kind of nice." Everybody, yeah, they start complimenting Deku and Bakugo. They're like, "Whoa, your outfits are cool." So Deku and Bakugo are like, "Yeah, yeah." And so this time Deku and Bakugo aren't be on a team because All Might rigged it. He was like, "I'm gonna have my two students on a team." But now that I think about it, that would be overpowered. But hey, it is what it is. That's my saying. So uh, this time he'll be going against Todoroki and they'll be going against Todoroki and I can't remember who else. So yeah, I'ma just pick Momo. So yeah, no, not Momo. I'll say they're going up against Todoroki and Kirishima. Yeah. So when they walk in, cause Deku and Bakugo are on the hero team, so they walk in. Todoroki, he can't just shoot ice out of the ground because if he does that, his teammate will get affected too, which he knows is not something he can afford. If they were on the hero team, he could just tell his teammate to stay outside and then he could spray it and he would be done. But this time, since his teammate is already in the building, he can't tell him that. So he says, so Deku says, you want to just rush him? He's like, Baku's like, yeah, you already know it. We don't need to come up with a plan for these weaklings. And Deku's like, yeah. But little do they know, Todoroki's not that weak. He's still weak though. So compared to them at least. So Deku and Bakugo make it to the room because they searched everywhere separately. So they say, all right, everywhere I searched is empty, so let's go to the last floor. So they finally get there and they see Todoroki and Kirishima. Bakugo says, I'll take the redhead. Well, he says both of them are redheads. He's like, you know what I meant. And he's like, oh, so I'll take the red and white head. So he was like, all right, bet. So they start fighting. Bakugo, he throws an explosion at Kirishima. Kirishima blocks with his hardening. Bakugo says, that's an interesting quirk. He's like, yeah, but it's not as cool as your flashy quirk right there. Bakugo in this timeline, he's much more mature, but he's still rash and cocky about his quirk. But he's like, since his brother was seen not to have a quirk, he was more like humble with his quirk. He was like, having a flashy quirk doesn't make it strong. And he was like, you gotta train your quirk to make it strong. And then Kirishima's like, he takes these words of wisdom like they're from his god. Like Kirishima takes Bakugo's words like even in the canon, he takes his words like they're from a freaking pro or something. So he's like, so he unlocks his should I give him that? No, I'm not gonna give him that early. So he starts charging at Bakugo like a horse that can never wither. So Bakugo starts throwing huge explosions because you know he has one for all on this one. So he throws one explosion that's pretty big and it knocks Kirishima out. Like Kirishima's gone. He said he slumped. And then Deku looks back and like, wow, it's over that quick. That kid must be weak. And so Deku starts going at Todoroki. And so he grabs Todoroki. Well, he doesn't grab Todoroki. He throws like a nuclear bomb at Todoroki. Todoroki blocks with his ice. And then Deku appears right behind him because he used his uh, full body explosion nuke to go hecka fast right behind him. And then he proceeds to chop him on the back of his neck and then touch the bomb. And Todoroki, when he wakes up, he's heated. He's like, I've never been that humiliated in my life. I didn't think me, the strongest of all the Todoroki children could be beaten like that. My father told me I was the perfect specimen. And then he goes into depression, thinking about his mom and his dad. And Deku's like, you good, Jit? And Todoroki's in his self dwelling. Like he's over here sad face. He can barely look it. Like he's about to cry. He's about to cry like mom. Why did you burn me back then? And then Deku like, bro, are you good or not? And then this dude Todoroki looks at him and says, I'm in my own self pain. And I'm and then Deku like, bruh, what? He's like, my father used to beat my mom and he told me I must make my quirk stronger than All Might. And Deku was like, well, that'll never happen. And Todoroki's like, wow, wow. So he was like, I'll never use my left side because it reminds me of my father. Deku said, that makes you, that you're dumb. Why wouldn't you use something that could help you become a most powerful hero? Just because it has to do with your father's quirk doesn't mean it's his quirk. It's your quirk. It's in your body, right? And then Todoroki thinks, he's like, uh, he's right. It is my quirk. Like, I never understood that. Like, Todoroki really fell for this dude Deku. Like, I saw a slight blush on his face when he turned the flame on. He said, "Oh, I got you, Hoppa." I'm like, bruh, this dude is a fruit. So this dude Deku, he just say whatever. So he's like Todoroki. He starts self-reflecting. He's like, should I use the quirk? What he says does make sense. It's not my father's quirk. It's mine. And then he says, yes, I won't be self-depressed anymore. I'm my own man, and I have my own quirk. Like he had some self-revelation, and Deku's just listening to the whole thing like, okay. And he walks away like, this guy is weird. And then Deku, Momo, All Might says, all right, can you guys tell me how the hero team won? Momo raised her hand. She's like, because they utilized teamwork. They searched all the places. When they finally got there, they did the 2-on-2 battle, and they did it smartly. Deku utilized his quirk the easiest because he got behind his opponent. Bakugo, he was just playing around with his opponent, which you shouldn't do in the real villain world. And Bakugo snares, like scoffs, it says, and looks at her, and then looks back, like, shut up. And so finally, they go back to class, and then they are voting on a class representative, and Deku and Bakugo get the most votes, which is surprising. Deku gets the most votes, which makes him class president, and then Bakugo gets the second most amount because he wasn't as cocky or brash. So becomes the class rep.
He becomes the enforcer or something like that, I think.
So
Then the whole thing at lunch happens with the reporters leaving, and everybody starts going crazy. Deku, since he's the class representative, says, "All right, bet." So he does this big explosion, which turns everybody attention toward him. He says, "Are you guys really that dumb? Are you really gonna be heroes when you get older? If you can't even handle the situation of villains, you get this scared?" And then they all think to themselves, like, "Wow, we really did just act like that when we're supposed to be future heroes." He says, "It's just the reporters. Get a grip." And they're like, "Wow, we had a first year just tell us what to do." And the other first years are like, "Wow, why can't we act like him?" And Bakugo just like glaring at them like, "Wow, y'all are weak." And he's like, "Bruh, bruh."
and then
So after that, I'm pretty sure this is where they were going to the USJ. They were on the bus talking about how Bakugo really wouldn't get no friends since he's always glaring at people. He really doesn't talk to them. Deku doesn't really either, but he's forced to talk because he's a class representative. So, all right, that's where I'm